Very good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the current affairs classes. I'll be taking up the news analysis from 9th to 14th October in two parts today. Part 1 right now and then part 2 in the second half. Okay. So, we will be having two classes now on a day for current affairs because, the IRDAI exam is about to happen. So we want to cover the current affairs comprehensively so that you do not miss upon anything which is important and relevant. That's why we will be having two classes every day. Okay. So let's begin with the analysis. It would be great if you can let me know, is the audio and video all good? Anyone? Anyone can please let me know? Audio, video all clear? Anyone please? Okay, so I'm assuming it's all good. Let's begin with the analysis. So first of all, we are covering the 9th October news analysis. In regulatory bodies news, you have something really important. Although I have covered this thing in the Monetary Policy Committee key highlights. So this comes directly from your Monetary Policy Committee key highlights, which I have taken a separate class on the topic. Okay, you can go through the class and you will not be missing upon anything which is important for your upcoming examination in that class. We have covered everything extensively. So again, you have that thing in the news that the repo rate has been decided to be kept unchanged by the MPC at 6.5%. You know that the repo rate has been kept unchanged for the 10th time in a row. So you should remember that repo rate has been kept unchanged at 6.5%. Earlier in the last meeting also it was 6.5. Before that also it was 6.5. Now why this has been kept unchanged? Because the inflation projection is still high. Although the committee has clearly specified, that the inflation is moderating gradually, but still we need to align the inflation rates with the desirable bracket, which is 4 plus minus 2%. 4 plus minus 2%. So that, sorry, that's why, the key policy rate has been still kept higher. Okay. But one thing which you need to remember here is, although the repo rate has been kept unchanged, there's a shift in stance. There's a shift in stance. What is the shift in stance? So in the last MPC, if you remember, the stance taken by the MPC was withdrawal of accommodation, right? Where they wanted to withdraw the accommodative policy. That means they wanted to withdraw the liquidity conditions, tighten the liquidity conditions so as to contain the inflation. But now the stance has been shifted, remember, from withdrawal of accommodation, which was earlier a stance, they have shifted to a neutral stance. They have shifted to a neutral stance. Remember this. By neutral, they mean, they have clearly specified that, by neutral stance, we mean that we want to align the inflation with the growth target now. We are not so much concerned with the desirable bracket because the inflation is on a moderating trend, but specifically there are climate related risks which are looming, right? So climate related disruption caused to any agricultural crop production, etc., can deter this target of inflation being in a desirable bracket. That's why we have kept the repo rate higher, but still we have changed the stance. I hope you have understood the thing. And all these things, which have been decided in the MPC, if you look at the video, if you go through the video, everything will be covered. You will understand whatever has been decided. Okay, go and see the MPC key highlights. So this is the thing. Other important traits. So you need not mug up them. You always remember that whatever the key policy rate is or whatever the repo rate is, the standing deposit facility rate, SDFR, will always be 0.25% less than the repo rate, right? Okay, so that's why it is 6.25. The marginal standing facility and the bank rate, they are always 25 basis points or 0.25% higher than the repo rate. So they will be 6.75. Okay, and the RBI has maintained status quo, as you all know. Also, please remember the inflation and growth projection done by MPC recently. That can be asked in your upcoming IRDAI examination. So remember that the real GDP forecast, if you see, or first of all, the figure has been given regarding real GDP growth. So they have said that real GDP has registered a growth of 6.7% in the first quarter of 24-25. Okay, and reason is private consumption and investment. It is driven by private consumption and investment. So private consumption and investment, they have seen a boost. This is the thing. Okay, then if you see what are the inflation and growth forecasts, so these numbers are important, please remember them. So according to MPC, the retail inflation forecast for 24-25 is 4.5, and the real GDP is 7, and the real GDP is 7.2 for 24-25. So fiscal 24-25 के लिए remember retail inflation 4.5, and it has kept them, at 4.5 and 7.2 for real GDP. Remember these two figures. This is very, very important for the upcoming examination. I hope all of this is clear. Even if you have any doubt, I'm again telling you, please go through the MPC key highlights class. We have covered everything which has been there extensively. Now next news which you have is RBI has announced a scholarship scheme. A scholarship scheme for whom? Scholarship scheme for faculty members from academia institutions if they engage in research and development kind of work with RBI. Okay, so it will be providing them with scholarship. Now, if you see full-time faculty members which are there teaching economics or finance at any UGC or AICTE recognized universities or colleges in India, they are eligible to apply for these short-term research. So who is eligible for this scholarship by RBI? Faculty members who are teaching either economics or finance at UGC or All India Council of Technical Education approved, recognized universities or colleges in India for short-term research. This is to promote research and make them familiar with RBI's functioning, vision, etc. Okay, and research area will be, of course, monetary and financial economics, banking, real sector issues, and other topics of interest of RBI. Maximum scholarships will be 5. Okay, and candidates will be shortlisted accordingly. So remember this. Moving on to the banking news. I hope whatever we have covered so far is clear. Now in the banking news you have, again during MPC meeting, this thing, I have again covered in that class, and we have provided you the MPC key highlights document as well. Clearly all these things are mentioned over there. Please go through the document or go through the class. Remember all the important facts because they are important for upcoming examination. Okay, this is again from the MPC meeting which was decided. So in the MPC meeting, they have decided to increase certain limits of UPI Lite and UPI 123. Okay, so this is the thing, UPI 123 pay, which allows you to initiate transaction on command. Certain users are there, who are not very much familiar with the interfaces, right? With the mobile interface, with the application interface. So it is easy to give commands, voice command, and then initiate the transaction. So 123 provides you that facility. UPI 123 ke liye, they have decided to enhance the per transaction limit from 5,000, remember, to 10,000 rupees. These are very, very important data. Please remember them. Okay. So this has been increased from 5,000 to 10,000 in UPI Lite. UPI Lite, you all know what is UPI Lite. So UPI Lite wallet limit, two things are there in UPI Lite. Remember that. One is UPI Lite wallet limit and one is UPI Lite per transaction limit. So both have increased. they have decided to increase the wallet limit from 2,000 rupees to 5,000. This is UPI Lite wallet limit. You can have this much of amount in the UPI Lite wallet, and the transaction per transaction limit in UPI Lite has also been increased from 500 to 1,000 rupees. So it has been increased to 1,000 from earlier 500. Remember all these, you can expect a direct question from all these sections in the upcoming examination, right? So this is very, very important. Please mug up these data. Then you have next news, which is Manipal Cigna Health Insurance has launched a policy that will cover expenses related to organ donation. Manipal Cigna Health Insurance. Now this is also a significant step because this is to help the organ donor as well. Okay, the pre-hospitalization, post-hospitalization expenses will be covered under this. So they already are having insurance policy which is known as Sarva. Okay, Sarva policy, which has 3 phases: Sarva Pratham, Sarva Uttam, Sarva Param. You need not go in detail of them. You just remember it has 3 classifications: Sarva Pratham, Sarva Uttam and Sarva Param. Now they have decided to cover expenses related to organ donation as well in this Sarva policy. Okay, it will include your pre and post hospitalization cost for the donor. So you know, the donor who wants to donate an organ will be covered here. So the pre and post hospitalization cost for the donor will be covered up to 30 days. It will also include the cost of screening the donor once a year and cover complications. If any complication arise due to organ donation to the donor, they will also be covered up to 25% of the sum insured or rupees 2 lakh, whichever is high in addition to the base sum insured. So 25% of the sum insured, which is the base sum insured under the Sarva policy, or 2 lakh, okay, whichever is higher will be provided. So this is to help the organ donation processes and the organ donors. Also remember, according to the Niti Aayog, around 30% of India's population is in the missing middle people, that is people without significant health insurance. Now you know, anything related to insurance, any data, any news related to insurance is important for all of you, you know, because the IRDAI examination is approaching, right? Approaching near. So that's why you can utilize these data, write down them in some register so that you can write them in your descriptive as well. So at least around 30% of people, they are without significant health insurance covers according to Niti Aayog. This is a challenge for the insurance industry. Moving on to the national and state news. In national news, you have United Nations Population Fund. United Nations Population Fund. It has recognized extraordinary progress of India in advancing maternal health and family planning. It has acknowledged that India has advanced in, you know, providing maternal health facilities and benefits as well as family planning. India is doing good. So if you see the data, efforts of India have helped India in reducing the MMR, maternal mortality rate. The infant mortality rate, the maternal mortality rate, these data are also significant for phase 1. Okay, upcoming examination as well. So remember, according to United Nations Population Fund, it has helped India in reducing the maternal mortality rate, okay, by an impressive 70%. India has been able to reduce MMR by 70%. That is a substantial reduction, okay, between 2000 and 2020. What is this maternal mortality rate? Maternal mortality rate is basically the death caused during the maternity phase, death of a mother per 1 lakh live births. Okay, this is how you calculate it, per 1 lakh live births. Now also please remember the overall SDG which is associated with it. You can expect such direct questions in your examination. The overall target, if you see, is to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal target of MMR below 70 before 2030. Remember, this is the Sustainable Development Target which we have. We have to reduce the MMR below 70 by 2030. Please remember that, okay? Next, we have Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister has approved the development of National Maritime Heritage Complex. They have approved National Maritime Heritage Complex at Lothal in Gujarat. Lothal in Gujarat. Lothal, if you see, has been one of the very important Indus Valley civilization sites, right? Lothal belongs to one of the Lothal, Dholavira. All these have been important port sites, trade centers, bead making centers. So, you know, ornamental beads, jewelry based beads were made in Lothal, Dholavira, etc. These are some important IVC, Indus Valley civilization sites. So we have decided, the cabinet has given approval for National Maritime Heritage Complex to be established at Lothal in Gujarat. Okay, please remember that. Just remember the location, that would be sufficient. There are different phases in which it will be developed. So you need to understand two things here. There will be phase 1A and phase 1B. They will be developed in EPC mode. You need to understand these terminologies. Sorry. So this EPC basically belongs to what? They will be developed on PPP model, public-private partnership. I hope you know what is PPP, right? Where public agencies, departments and private companies, they collaborate for a project. Now PPP has different models under it. One of them is EPC. This EPC, where phase 1A and 1B of this heritage maritime heritage center will be developed. This is engineering, procurement and construction. Okay, EPC refers to engineering, procurement and construction. This model basically signifies that, you know, the engineering of the design and all these things will be done by the private company. Procurement of any resources, technology, etc. will be done by them, and construction will be done by the private company. But then the cost of the project will be borne by the government. So this is how the responsibility will be divided. This is especially for big projects where the expertise of the private companies is utilized and engineers are utilized. Okay, this is the thing. And then phase 2 of the project will be developed through land subleasing or PPP again model. So again, land subleasing, where subleasing basically refers to, there is a tenant also leases out. There's a tenant who has, you know, taken that land on a lease, then again leases it out to someone else. So subleasing kind of thing. So remember this, National Maritime Heritage Complex. Next you have US headquartered Arctic Wolf, which is a security operations player, has launched its, you know, first Indian Global Capability Center in Bengaluru. Remember this, US based Arctic Wolf has launched its first Global Capability Center in Bengaluru, first Indian Global Capability Center. These capability centers, they basically utilize these skills. They provide you a lot of opportunities to utilize the skills and entrepreneurship skills, like you have financial centers and all. So a lot of activities they take place here. Okay, this is established in Bengaluru. Then you have cabinet has approved continuation of universal supply of fortified rice. So cabinet has approved the universal supply continuation of supply of fortified rice under all these schemes of government of India, including your Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana and other welfare schemes, okay, in its present form. And this rice fortification will continue as a central sector initiative with 100% funding by Government of India. Okay, so what is this fortification of rice? You all must be knowing rice fortification of any food crop refers to enhancing the nutritional value of that food crop basically. Okay, enhancing the nutritional value of that food crop. This is fortification of any food crop. They have decided to continue this. Next, again very important, so your Department of Posts, Government of India has unveiled a special set of commemorative postage stamps. Remember, commemorative postage stamps. In commemoration of what? In commemoration of 150th anniversary of the Universal Postal Union. Remember, celebrating 150th anniversary of Universal Postal Union on the occasion of World Post Day. So remember, World Post Day is celebrated on 9th of October. World Post Day, 9th of October. And this Universal Postal Union was established also on 9th of October 1874 in Bern, Switzerland. In 2024, remember what has been the theme of World Post Day, 9th October. 2024 theme has been 150 years of enabling communication and empowering peoples across nations. 150 years of enabling communication and empowering people across nations. This was the theme for 2024. Remember that. Okay. Then you have MeitY, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, has relaxed some provisions in its norms to procure computing capacity. Basically, some norms have been relaxed by MeitY to enhance the computing capacity for artificial intelligence solutions under its 10,300 crore India AI mission. So basically, to expand the scope of India AI mission, this has been done by MeitY. All right. So remember that MeitY has given certain relaxations regarding that. Nothing more is important. You need not remember all these things. Next, we have Union Minister for Labour and Employment and Youth Affairs and Sports has chaired the 194th meeting of ESI Corporation in New Delhi. Okay, ESI Corporation in New Delhi, 194th meeting was held, in which key initiatives were announced like establishment of 10 new ESIC medical college. You know, so what is this ESIC? Basically, employees state insurance coverage it provides, right? So ESI based or ESIC based institutions, they provide you the medical support, etc. Illness, sickness, they provide you aid in times of sickness, any accident caused due to working conditions, etc. So these are provided, these medical benefits, etc. provided. So they have decided to establish 10 new ESIC medical colleges, okay, where locations are Andheri in Maharashtra, then you have Basadarpur in Delhi, then you have Guwahati, Beltola in Assam, then Indore, Madhya Pradesh, Jaipur, Rajasthan, Ludhiana, Punjab, Naroda, Bapunagar, Gujarat, Noida and Varanasi, UP, and Ranchi in Jharkhand. These ESIC medical colleges will be established in these 10 locations, okay? And this is to ensure the Modi's vision to create, you know, Prime Minister Modi's vision to create 75,000 new medical seats in next 5 years. Also providing greater social security benefits, okay, to these establishments. The purpose is this. As I told you, these benefits will be extended to the employees. Now, this was about the sorry, this was about the national news. Now, moving on to the state news. In state news, we have only one news, which is Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu has informed that World Bank has agreed to extend 15,000 crore loan to state government, 15,000 crore loan to state government for the construction of capital Amravati, and its work will be starting from December. So Amravati, you all know, will be developed as a world-class city, and Amravati, for development and construction of the capital of Andhra Pradesh, Amravati, 15,000 crore loan will be given by World Bank, and center will be releasing 12,500 crores for the construction of Polavaram project. Polavaram project. I hope you remember we have discussed this project in the budget as well. I will be appreciating you if you tell me on which river is this Polavaram project located at. Yes, anyone? You want to tell me? Anyone? Polavaram project is associated with which river? I will be waiting for your answers. This was about national and state news. Moving on to the international segment. In international, you have United Arab Emirates launching nationwide campaign named UAE Stands with Lebanon. So, in Lebanon, economic crisis and other local tensions are going on, which have disrupted the social harmony in Lebanon, So there is a humanitarian crisis in Lebanon. For that, UAE stands with the Lebanon. So UAE has launched this campaign. Godavari, very good, very good. Okay, so UAE has launched UAE stands with Lebanon campaign to support the people of Lebanon in this humanitarian crisis. Then you have WHO. WHO has launched the Health Labor Market Analysis Support Tool. So it has launched a tool named as Health Labor Market Analysis. Health Labor Market Analysis. This Health Labor Market Analysis tool is going to be a support tool. It is going to assist particularly Africa in assessment of health workforce education capacity, supply and demand. Okay, also to facilitate the integration of health workforce planning into labor market analysis. So as the name only suggests, what is your health workforce and how much you have been able to integrate your health workforce into your labor market. Health workforce would refer to people working in the health related institutions and services, providing health related services basically, right? So this is going to help countries like Africa to gauge their performance, their educational capacity, what is the supply, what is the demand of health workforce to basically improve the overall health infrastructure. Then you have Adobe. Adobe has launched a new free to use web app called Adobe Content Authenticity. Now this will help creators protect and receive attribution for their work using content credentials. Not so much of important, you can just remember this information that Adobe has launched a free to use web app, which is Adobe Content Authenticity, with the help of which any content creator, they can protect and receive the attribution for their work. Then Bangladesh. So the interim government of Bangladesh has established a 9-member Constitution Reforms Commission. Constitution Reforms Commission. So remember, they can ask you which country has recently constituted a Constitution Reforms Commission to evaluate the current constitution and propose reforms thereon. It will be headed by Bangladeshi American professor Ali Riaz. Okay. Then another news which we have is India has now committed to give more than $300 million for the World Health Organization's core program of work from 2025 to 2028. So for the core programs and working and organizations, and campaigns and all of the WHO, India is also committed. So India has decided to give $300 million for WHO's core programs, and India is sixth largest global contributor of the core funding to the WHO. Remember, India is sixth largest such contributor for the core functioning and programs of WHO. And one more fact which you can remember from here, that India has committed the largest amount of funds so far in Southeast Asia. So in the Southeast Asian region, this commitment is the largest one. This was about the international news. Now MOUs and mergers, let's see. So MasterCard has collaborated with the Archer Daniels Midland Company. Now this, Archer Daniels Midland Company is having a specialization in food processing, primarily food processing. This collaboration will be enhancing the digitalization of ADM's Farmer Producer Organization and farm base in Maharashtra. So it will help digitalize the Farmer Producer Organization and farm base, enhance the farm base in Maharashtra. So digitalization will help in operational efficiency of farmer producer organizations. It is finally going to help the farmers of Maharashtra with digitalization. Okay. So they will be participating in farm passes, okay, which is a technology powered by MasterCard. These passes, these community passes, farm passes, they are digital platforms, which farm passes are one of them, which include your farm pass program, offering and connecting the agricultural ecosystem, right? So all of these stakeholders are connected, like you have farmers, agri buyers, lenders, other service providers. They all are connected via the digital platform on the community pass digital platform. One of the facility is farm pass on this. So the farmer gets access to lender, buyer, etc. at the same point of time, online or digitally. So this is something which is helping the farmers in Maharashtra and pan India if it is expanded further. So this was then this was the news. Next we have is C3I Hub of IIT Kanpur. Remember this, C3I Hub of IIT Kanpur. C3I IIT Kanpur has launched the Cyber Commando Training Program. Cyber Commando Training Program in collaboration with Union Home Ministry and the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, I4C, under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Now, this is cyber, as the name only suggests, Cyber Commando Training Program. It will give training, okay, to participants for cutting edge skills in cyber security. It will help in bolstering of the cyber security network, okay, and providing them with the latest technical know-how, also solutions to respond to any cyber threat or attack. All right, this is the thing. This is something we have already covered in previous news as well. So it is in news, becomes important, remember that. Next, you have Tata Technologies and BMW Group. Tata Technologies and BMW Group, they have launched a joint venture, which is BMW TechWorks India. It will be working in innovative automotive software, okay. It will be working in innovative automotive software, basically, which will include software design vehicles and digital transformation solutions for business IT. Then you have Piaggio Vehicles Private Limited, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Italian automotive giant Piaggio Group. It has partnered with Shriram Finance. You must have heard about Shriram Finance. So it has partnered with Shriram Finance to simplify three-wheeler financing nationwide. this partnership will be providing three-wheeler financing in India. This was about the MOUs and mergers. Moving on to science, tech and defense. So you have, remember this, Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited, GRSE, they have delivered INS Nirdeshak to Indian Navy. Now this Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited, they are operating in India, and they are, skilled in manufacturing these survey vessels particularly. So this is a survey vessel, Nirdeshak, survey vessel. Survey vessels means these ship vessels, they help you in surveying, collecting data like oceanography, for oceanography, etc. So survey kind of vessel it is, delivered to Indian Navy. Remember the name, Nirdeshak. It is second survey vessel in the series of 4. So total 4 have to be provided in that series. One has already been commissioned. The second is Nirdeshak. 2 are still left. Okay. It is going to enhance India's maritime capabilities with advanced survey data. So you can have advanced survey related data. It is a survey vessel, as I already told you. Moving on to indices and rankings and reports. First, you have the latest Times Higher Education's World University Rankings 2025. Okay. So under this, your Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, has slipped the position. It has slipped to 251, say 300 band. Okay. 251, 300 band, and it retained its position as the top Indian university, although. So it is still top India's top university, but in the global university rankings, it has slipped to 251, 300 band. But still, it is, remember, top university in India. So which are top 5 universities in this international ranking? Top 5 universities are University of Oxford, 9th consecutive year, University of Oxford. Then you have Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. Then you have Harvard University, 3rd position pe. 4th pe you have Princeton University, and 5th pe you have University of Cambridge. These are there. Okay. Then, according to McAfee's Celebrity Hacker Hot List, Hacker Hot List, what does this list tell you? Basically, these hackers, unethical hackers, they are trying to lure people, trying to make people victim of cyber attacks with the help of these celebrity names in their presence. So there are certain celebrities which are at high risk, okay, according to the list. So this year's data reveals that there's a concerning trend that cyber criminals, they are increasingly exploiting the popularity of these celebrities to lure the victims into malicious schemes, Using their popularity, they are trying to trap a lot of people. So which are the top celebrities which are at risk of becoming a part of this? So first is Ori. You must have seen this person and got, became very famous after the Ambani weddings and all. So Ori is there. Then you have Diljit Dosanjh, famous singer, Alia Bhatt, Ranveer Singh, and Virat Kohli. These are the top celebrities, okay, in the risk according to this report. Now moving on to the reports section. So according to International Energy Agency report, IEA's report titled IEA Renewables 2024 report. IEA Renewables 2024 report, renewable energy sources are set to meet nearly half of all the electricity demand by the end of the decade. But they are expected to fall short of UN goal to triple capacity to reduce carbon emissions. The report is saying by the end of this decade, we are nearing, we will be able, at the global level, we will be able to double renewable energy based energy consumption. Double that, okay? But still we are lagging behind with a the goal, the UN goal of tripling that. We will be able to double that, but we have to triple that to reduce the carbonization. Okay. Okay, Shefali. So, no political opinions and comments, please. I know your emotions regarding the celebrity list. Please stick to the current affairs content. Okay. So, this is the thing. Also, the report says that the world is set to add more than 5,500 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity between now and 2030. So these are important data. You please remember them. 5,500 gigawatts we will be adding, which is almost 3 times the increase between 17 and 23. Also, this increase is equivalent to current power capacity of China, European Union, India and US combined. This increase, 5,500 gigawatts of renewable energy, this increase will be equal to what we have as current capacity, combining the capacities of India, of EU, of US, of China, these huge economies, right? So that is a great news. And if we want to triple this capacity, governments, they need to intensify their efforts, ongoing efforts, okay? Which requires building and modernizing 25 kilometer of electricity grids and reaching 1,500 gigawatt of storage capacity by 2030. We will also have to increase the storage, renewable energy based electricity storage capacity. For that, battery energy storage system needs to be further enhanced, okay? Also, so your solar photovoltaic cells technology is also set to account for 80% of the growth in renewable energy capacity to 2030. So the maximum growth comes from solar power. Wind sector is also forecasted to recover and double its rate of expansion to 2030. Wind sector is also expected by this report to expand. And if you look at the global solar manufacturing capacity is also expected to be more than 1,100 gigawatts. So you can remember these important figures here. The next what we have is that according to the survey report by research organization Fair Work India, a research based organization, Fair Work India, says only 2 of your e-commerce platforms, which are Big Basket and Urban Company. Big Basket and Urban Company, out of the 11 e-commerce platforms, they have a minimum wage policy. That means all other people working in these e-commerce platforms, particularly the gig workers, the contractual workers, are at a risk, right? So only these 2, the Big Basket and the Urban Company, are having a minimum wage policy. The survey was conducted by Fair Work India in association with University of Oxford, and the minimum wage policy, guarantees all their workers earn at least a local hourly minimum wage to maintain their standard of living. So big giants, including your Flipkart, Uber, Ola, Zapto, Amazon, they are lagging behind this thing, right? Although Zomato is performing quite good. Next, you have, according to the Deloitte India report, India could produce 8 to 10 million tons of sustainable aviation fuel by 2040. Also remember, when we are talking about sustainable fuel, we are not talking about only the road transportation. We are also talking about the aviation fuel, okay? So aviation fuel we also need to make it more sustainable. And for that, the report says that India could produce 8 to 10 million tons of sustainable aviation fuel by 2040. This is the thing. Now moving on to awards, books and festivals. Let's see. So Nobel Prizes we have seen yesterday. Yesterday we have seen Nobel Prizes for physiology and physics, right? For medicines and physics. So today we have Nobel Prize in chemistry. Nobel Prizes for 2024 in chemistry, they have been awarded to David Baker for computational protein design, along with Demis Hassabis and John M. Jumper for protein structure prediction. So remember the persons awarded with the Nobel Prize, also remember their work. Then in the sports category, you have Indian table tennis player Manika Batra has won bronze medal at the 2024 Asian TT Championships held in Astana, and she has defeated the Japanese counterpart. Okay. In appointments, if you see, Tata Electronics has appointed Bobby Mitra as the Chief Information Officer and President of AI and Digital Information of Tata Electronics. In important days, World Mental Health Day is there, observed on October 10 to promote awareness about mental health issues. So remember this, World Mental Health Day. Okay, 10th of October. And remember 2024's theme, World Mental Health at Work. Particularly at work, mental health is also important at the global level or world level. Persons in news, you have one person, the Standard Chartered's Chief Executive Officer for India and Southeast Asia, Zareen Daruwala, will retire on 1st April 2025 after serving more than 8 years in the role. Okay, so Standard Chartered, you know, this is a multinational bank basically operating in a lot of countries. So this is a bank, and that's why the person is UK based primarily, but this is multinational bank. So this was about the 9th October one. Now I am moving on to the 10th and 14th October wala document. I hope whatever we have covered in 9th October is clear to all of you, right? Any doubts in so far whatever we have discussed in the class? So this is about 9th October. Let's move on to the 10th and 14th October PDF. We will try to cover some of the news here, and then remaining news will be covered in the second part of this class in second half today only. Okay, so that the class also does not goes too long and we are able to cover this syllabus in time. All right. Now remember, in this document, 10 to 14th October, we have a lot of insurance related news, and they are really very important to you. Why? You all know, right? So you have an examination scheduled to be there. On November 6th, I think we have the IRDAI, right? So all these insurance related news are there. Please note them down separately and please remember them. That is going to be very, very important, I'm telling you again, okay? So I will explain you all these news so that you remember them, but please remember the facts as well. Let's begin with the 10th, 14th October PDF. First, we have insurance news. So we have a proper category of insurance news only. So you can assess the importance, right? We have a lot of insurance news. First insurance news which we have is the state-owned LIC. You know about the Life Insurance Corporation. LIC has reduced first year agent commission from earlier 35% to present 28% following the revision of surrender value norms. Now you need to understand one thing here, okay? Also, all those who are there in my IRDAI ESI paid course program, if you have enrolled into it, I will be providing you a document regarding the recent change in the surrender value, okay, by IRDAI. So surrender value norms have been changed and they have become effective from 1st October 2024 only. Now what are these surrender value norms? You need to understand first the surrender value regulation changes, and then you will be able to understand all these insurance based news. Understand one thing, in LIC, when not only in LIC but any insurance policy, when you opt for an insurance policy, you have an option of surrendering it or exiting the policy. Getting my point? Right? Earlier, what used to be the case is, if you surrendered the policy, okay, you have paid your premiums regularly according to the nature of the policy. You have paid premiums for the policy, but when you exited, sometimes you got zero benefit or zero refund, or sometimes the refund was quite less. Now, this discouraged people in going for a lot of policy options, because similarly, like entry into a market for a business is important, exit is equally important, isn't it? Agree with me? For any business to establish itself into a market, entry and exit are equally important. Exit laws, exit cost, all those should be easy so that business can exit accordingly if it is not able to sustain itself. Similarly, in insurance also, exiting should be easy. So, looking at the things going on, if you have been there in my classes in IRDAI, ESI, we have covered this thing that India is lagging behind in insurance penetration as well as insurance density. Okay? Insurance penetration and insurance density. So, insurance penetration is what? Okay, so I am giving you this homework. All the IRDAI students of the paid courses, you must be knowing the difference between insurance penetration and density. But anyone else who is not there in the course, you also need to understand the difference between insurance penetration and insurance density. I am giving this thing as a homework to all of you. I'll ask you in the next class, okay? You will let me know the difference. So, we are lagging behind in terms of insurance penetration as well as density. Now, to expand that, we need to expand the industry, insurance industry. That is a challenge. You cannot do that without making people, purchase your policies. So, this surrender value regulation recently changed by IRDAI gives more refund if anyone surrenders within 1 year of the payment of premiums for that policy. This is the broader change. Have you understood that? Broader change is any insured person who has opted for a policy, any endowment plan or term plan, particularly this is for endowment plans. So you have opted for insurance policy, you have paid premiums for 1 year. Now, if you exit after 1 year only, you will get a lot of refund. So it is easier to exit. Now, this will make easier for people to shift in between different kind of policies, and it will help in expanding the insurance business only. This is the surrender value. Surrender value. When you surrender the policy, what do you get as refund? Right? This is the surrender value regulation. They have, they have been made effective from 1st October only. I hope you have understood this. Now, all these steps taken further are in line with this surrender value regulation. I hope this is clear. So, this thing that the agent, so first year agent commission, if you are working as an agent in the insurance, agents, you have life insurance agents, brokers, intermediaries working, selling out the policies. So, they get their commission. So, first year ke liye, when the agent is there for the first year ke liye commission has been reduced from 35% to 28%. Now, this can be utilized to refund the public if they opt for a surrender, or give out the surrender value if they opt out of the policy within 1 year only. So, they are all in line with the recent surrender value regulations of IRDAI. Okay. So, remember, this first year agent commission have been reduced from 35% to 28%. But also remember, it has increased the commission for renewable premiums, also say renewal premiums. Any premium renewal you are indulged into, activities of renewing the premiums, in that case, the commission has been increased from earlier 5% to 7.5%. Okay. So, this has been increased. commission on premium renewal has been increased, but the agent commission has been reduced. Remember this thing. These are really very important news and data for the IRDAI upcoming examination. Also remember the minimum sum assured. Sorry. Just a second. Okay. So remember, the minimum sum assured on the revised policies has also been raised to 2 lakh from 1 lakh effective from 1 October. So any revised policies which are now coming into effect from October 1, minimum sum assured, minimum assurance to be provided by by these insurance providers will be at least 2 lakh. Remember that. Will be at least 2 lakh. It has been raised from earlier 1 lakh. I hope this particular news section is clear regarding insurance. Please remember all this data. It is very, very important, I am telling you again. Okay. Now moving on to the next insurance news. Next insurance news which we have is, again, your LIC has revised the upper limit for purchasing its new endowment plans from 55 years to 50 years. That means LIC का कोई भी endowment plan you are going to purchase, the maximum age has been reduced from 55 years to 50 years now. Okay. Now up to 50 years you can purchase the endowment plan. Also remember the difference between term plan and endowment plan. If you don't understand the terminologies, there is a difference. So there are two kind of policies broadly. One is term plan. For example, you have opted for life insurance. In term plan, you are not going to have any maturity benefit. That means term plan will give you benefit only on the event of death of the insured person, right? So if the insured person dies, then the assured amount will be given to the nominee. Understood that? This is term plan. What happens in the endowment plans? The endowment plans provide you maturity benefits along with the death benefits. Maturity benefits, for example, if the person in case survives fortunately, okay, if the person survives before the policy ends, so if the person survives and when the policy matures, the person will get the assured amount plus any bonuses, etc., which have accrued so far. This is the difference. This is what you call as maturity benefit. Okay. So endowment plans particularly, they provide you maturity benefits as well. These kind of maturity benefits. If you survive, you get the assured plan. But death benefit, the term plans, they only provide for death benefits, no maturity benefits. I hope the difference is clear between term plan and endowment plan. Everyone? Right? So this is the thing. And this is for the endowment plans, remember, not the term plans. For all the new endowment plans which are being released by LIC, the maximum age has been reduced from 55 to 50 years. Remember, this is going to be effective from October 1 again, and this new policy is LIC New Endowment Plan 914. The name of this will be LIC New Endowment Plan 914. LIC New Endowment Plan 914. And the minimum entry age you see is 8 years. Okay, it comes with both death and maturity benefits. As I told you, since this is an endowment plan mein you have both death benefit as well as maturity benefit. And minimum entry age here will be 8 years. So this was the news. Now next we have is, so again LIC related, PhonePe. PhonePe has tied up with Bajaj Allianz जनरल इंश्योरेंस, बजाज अलायंस जनरल इंश्योरेंस के साथ फोनपे हैज टाइड अप to offer insurance coverage against firecracker related accidents. You know, Diwali is near and you have a lot of firecracker related incidents, unfortunately, right? So this tie-up will be providing you firecracker related accidents insurance cover, okay, during Diwali for a limited period. These sum insured will be 25,000 rupees. 25,000 rupees, and premium is quite less, of rupees 9 only, inclusive of GST. It will cover 10 days starting from October 25 to November 3. 25 to November 3, which will include, you know, cost related to your hospitalization, daycare treatment, accidental death in unfortunately in any case, limited only to the policy holder. It will only be limited to policy holder, okay, no nominees. Also, you can opt for separate family coverage under this, okay? And it can be purchased on the PhonePe app only. So it is easier to buy. You can use, you all have PhonePe, right? PhonePe, Google Pay. So PhonePe particularly has tied up. So PhonePe app you can access this policy, and you can include your family members for the coverage. So remember this PhonePe and Bajaj Alliance. Then you have Bandhan Life. Bandhan Life has partnered with Bandhan Bank to boost insurance business to distribute life insurance products through its extensive network of 1700 branches. This is known as bank assurance, right? You know, this partnership between an insurance company and a bank is known as bank assurance. Bank assurance partnerships are gaining significance right now. It is helping Indian insurance companies expand their market. How does it help both of them? So banks, you know, they get additional commissions and earnings. Also, insurance companies, they get benefit out of the broad range of customer base which a bank has. So in this kind of partnership, banks provides these insurance products to its bank customers. So both of them mutually get benefited. These are known as bank assurance partnerships, okay? So Bandhan Life has partnered with Bandhan Bank. Then you have some important data over here where, according to ECHO India Health Report 2024, according to ECHO India Health Report 2024, the average health insurance claim size in India for financial year 2024 has risen by 11.35%. So remember this, average claim size, claim we are talking about, not the assured amount. So claims on health insurance have been rising. That shows that people either are falling more ill, or people are not able to, you know, meet up the medical expenses out of their pockets. Are you getting my point? That's why these health claims are rising. So they have risen by 11.35%, reaching to 70,558 rupees, which is more than the previous financial year. Men, if you see, on an average, they claimed 77,543 rupees, while women on an average claimed 69,553 rupees. This excludes for maternity claims, excluding the maternity claims. Now, what are the reasons? So, report only has highlighted, as I told you, that medical expenses might have increased. So, medical inflation in India is high. You know, medical equipment, services, they have really become expensive. So it has become almost impossible to bear all these expenses out of pocket. That's why you see rise in number of claims, right? So medical inflation, remember, this is important. Medical inflation in India is currently at 14%. Also, the cost of common medical procedures, they have escalated. Common tests and all, like angioplasty, etc., their costs have also increased. Kidney transplant costs, they have doubled. Kidney transplant cost, they have doubled. You need not remember their cost, you just remember the important data, the number of claims you can remember, okay? not the cost of kidney transplant and all. You don't have to become a surgeon or something else, right? So do not remember all these things, just remember the claim related data. The largest claim, they have been related to heart diseases. You see recently heart diseases are increasing, so number of claims related to heart diseases have also increased. This was according to Echo Health India report. Next, in insurance news, we have Indian Navy has signed an MOU with, again, Bajaj Alliance Insurance Company, life insurance company. So Bajaj Alliance, again in news, Indian Navy has signed MOU with this. Why? To provide life insurance to its civilian personnel. To provide life insurance to its civilian personnel. And this partnership aligns with Indian Navy's Year of Naval Civilians 2024. Remember, Indian Navy has declared 2024 as Year of Naval Civilians. Okay. Then you have iNube. iNube has partnered with Sonata Software to strengthen go-to-market efforts for insurers in the US and UK. Okay, this is for US and UK particularly. iNube has partnered with Sonata Software to strengthen the insurers in US and UK, which includes providing these insurance companies with cloud-based solutions, modernizations, digital platforms, etc. I hope all of these insurance related news are very much clear to you. The surrender value regulations, as I have told you, are clear, right? And then the recent changes in the agent commission and all. I hope all of this is clear. Let's move ahead to the next section now. So this was really very, very important. Moving on to ESI Finance and Business News category. First is we have regarding Index of Industrial Production. So your IIP, Index of Industrial Production in India, it has witnessed a contraction. So industrial activities, you can see this Index of Industrial Production has witnessed a contraction of 0.1% in August. Okay, 0.1% in August. And remember, this data regarding IIP is released by MOSPI, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. IIP, its base year, and the concerned agency. These three data you have to remember. What is the base year of IIP? 2011-12. So base year is 2011-12. Also remember, in the Index of Industrial Production, the highest weightage which you have is of the 8 core industries, which have a weight of 40.27%. The 8 core industries, right? 8 core industries, they have a weight of 40.27% in the IIP. Base year, remember, for IIP is 2011-12. Then next news which you have is NSE, National Stock Exchange, weekly derivatives options contracts on Nifty Bank, Nifty Midcap Select, and Nifty Financial Services. These will be discontinued now. You know, we have discussed this thing. These are in line with recent SEBI guidelines and regulations. SEBI has asked them to reduce the weekly derivatives options contracts, right? And this decision, as I told you, has been taken to comply with the new rules issued by SEBI for trading in F&O, right? We have discussed this news earlier as well. And now, so on for NSE, Nifty 50 will be the only weekly tradable index on NSE. This much you have to remember. All these will be discontinued. So now for NSE, you will have Nifty 50 as only weekly tradable index. Clear? Okay. Then very, very important again, if you see RBI phase 1 mein, I think second shift mein only, they have asked the listing ki recently Indian government bonds have been listed where. So JP Morgan mein they were listed. We have covered an entire editorial onto it. If you remember my previous classes, right? Current affairs mein bhi aapko content mein diya gaya tha. So these are very important. They can ask you in IRDAI exam as well. So this is third time now Indian government bonds will be listed outside. So First was your Bloomberg Index Services, which provided this facility. Next was JP Morgan. Now you have FTSE Russell. Okay, FTSE Russell. Please remember the name FTSE Russell. It will be aiding India in its emerging market government bonds for its emerging market government bond index from September 2025. And this FTSE Russell is basically a subsidiary of your London Stock Exchange. It will be helping India. So after JP Morgan, you have FTSE Russell. Okay, remember this. This is important. It can be asked. And according to it, Indian bonds will be constituting, remember the data as well, 9.35%. Please remember, 9.35% of the index. Indian bonds will be constituting 9.35% of the index. I hope this is clear and you understand the significance of this thing. RBI phase 1 में पूछा था JP Morgan से, right? So this is the thing. Next, you have the Atal Pension Yojana. We have covered this news yesterday as well. You know, Atal Pension Yojana has achieved a new milestone with gross enrollments under the scheme. They have crossed 7 crores. So please remember, this is continuously in news. So it can be asked. Remember, Atal Pension Yojana mein gross enrollments, they have crossed a mark of 7 crores. 7 crores. Okay, which is a social security scheme, you know. And this has been achieved with enrollment of over 56 lakh in current financial year. About the Atal Pension Yojana, it was launched on 9 May 2015, provides for universal social security system for all Indians, especially the poor, underprivileged and the workers in the unorganized sector primarily. Age limit for opting for the pension scheme is 18 to 40 years, remember, 18 to 40 years, okay? And a minimum guarantee pension of rupees 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So 1,000 से 5,000 की range, depending upon the eligibility, is there, okay? And you get these benefits after attaining the age of 60 years. Depends on your contributions you have made, how much cover you will be provided. Then you have Hyundai Motor India Limited has announced India's largest ever IPO. Okay, it is India's largest ever IPO. So I think it has now crossed the LIC. LIC earlier holded the record for largest IPO in history, isn't it? Yes or no? I think earlier the record was with LIC for having the largest IPO. Just cross check it if I just want to confirm it, okay? So as far as I remember, this has been with LIC, but now Hyundai Motor India has gone for India's largest IPO, largest ever IPO, okay, of 27,870 crores. LIC का IPO एक बार we will confirm कितना था. Yes, so it is more than LIC wala. LIC wala was around 21,000 crores, and you know. So earlier the record was with LIC, largest ever IPO, but now it has been replaced by Hyundai Motor India. Okay, so largest IPO 27,870 crores, and via this IPO, it will be diluting 17.5% of the promoter shareholding. Okay, it will be diluting 17.5% of shareholding. Then you have World Trade Organization in its global trade outlook and statistics has revised its projection for the merchandise goods based trade globally downwards. You know, that's why I have covered a lot of reports and classes. We have highlighted this thing that at global level, the merchandise trade is contracting. Again, WTO has also revised the global trade, merchandise trade downwards. Okay, to 3% in 2025 from the earlier estimate of 3.3. So remember, now according to WTO, the merchandise trade, goods, not services, goods trade has been reduced at the global level to 3% for 2025. The forecast is 3%. Okay. 2024 it was revised upwards, but then now it has contracted. Then this is the news we have covered already, that government announced that it is going to buy back the bonds, a lot of bonds, you know. So government has repurchased worth rupees 20, you can remember this figure, okay, this can be important for the exam, 24,453 crores, okay, worth of bonds through a buyback auction, which was of course conducted by RBI, okay. Via this, government has improved its debt profile by repurchasing the higher cost and short-term bonds. Now, this has injected a lot of liquidity also into the banking system. Also, after this decision, you can expect the 10-year government bond yield to moderate, because then investors' confidence, when it increases regarding the government's debt portfolio, generally the yield, they get moderated. Okay. So you can see these are the bonds primarily. You can just remember these two. So 7.72% of bonds which were bought back, for these were the 2025 maturing on May 25, and 5.22% of bonds 2025 maturing on June 15 have been bought back. So you can remember two of these things, not all of them. Then you have World Bank. So remember WTO wala figure, 3% for merchandise trade. Remember that. After that you have World Bank. World Bank has raised India's economic growth forecast. So remember this. World Bank has increased India's economic growth forecast for financial year 2025 to 7% on year basis from earlier 6.6. So World Bank has increased India's economic growth forecast to 7% for 2025. Remember this thing, okay? And this is primarily driven by private consumption and investment. And MPC key highlights wala video mein, if you also see, I have explained everything in detail. If you go and watch that class, you will realize that private consumption is picking up in India and investment activities are picking up. They are primarily contributing to economic growth. World Bank has also acknowledged that. So this was the finance ESI news. From regulatory bodies news, I think I will be taking up in the part 2 of this class, okay? Otherwise the class will be too long. So in the second half, today only, we will be having a part 2 from where we will be resuming from the regulatory bodies news, all right? So remember all these insurance related news, whatever was important I have highlighted. I hope you don't have any doubts from the class. Even if you have, you can ask me. I'm waiting for your questions. You can ask me any doubts if you have. Please keep on revising all these things. Any doubts? Anyone? Yes? All right then. So I'll see you in the part 2 of this class. Just a second. लाइव क्लास का स्केड्यूल कहाँ से मिलेगा? See, live classes का I don't think there's a schedule like this, or yesterday only. IRDAI means batch. Okay. Okay. So class will be there, you know, class will be made live. So you will be able, if you turn on the notification, you will be notified about the classes which are to be live on YouTube, right? This might be the best way. So the time has not been decided yet because we have a lot of classes scheduled for second half, but I'll try figuring out, and the class will be scheduled to that at that time. You will be notified. If you turn on the notification button, it will be helpful for you. Okay. All right, Shefali. And I'll also ask the team if they have any live class schedule, so it will be shared. Otherwise, I'm not sure if they have any schedule, if we have any live class schedule. Okay. All right, then thank you so much. I'll see you all in the next part 2 of this class. We will be resuming from regulatory bodies news. I hope this class was useful for you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. See you in the next session. Thank you.